Happy New Year to you and yours, and from us in ECWA Television Africa. We are bringing you greetings. I wish you love, light, unending joy and happiness to you and your family. How are you doing? This is the year 2022 and I'm excited to witness the 10th day of the first month, that is January 2022. My name is Joyce Iyakwari and you are welcome to the news and current affairs segment of ECWA Television, which is from the dailies. And on these dailies we review headlines in the stories making the paper that is in our national dailies. We tell you stories there, we analyze them, and we bring you fresh news even as they break. And I have in the studio with me Tosin Owolabi. Tosin, you're welcome to the show. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You look all bright, all red, all beautiful.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel about the year?
It's the starting of a year for me, and also this new phase, and I hope and I pray that it will be with divine surprises all through the year. Yes.
We decree productivity, achievement, we decree positivity in the year 2022. And the funny thing is, I've always seen this year as 2023. I don't know why I'm so rushing to be eager. I am eager to get your PVC. Get ready, get registered, pick it. You can achieve more and you won't fail even at the end, when people like say the interview granted by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari beginning of the year, expecting appreciation. Nigerians have reacted to comments made by President Muhammadu Buhari during a live interview. Said that he has been involved in governance in various capacities in the country, including as governor and minister, and but hope that when his administration ends in 2023, Nigerians will recognize that he has briefly discussed. What do you think about this?
I believe when you talk about someone giving out his best, he has given out result. When you talk about economy, when you talk about security, President, this thing it comes natural when things are going out well. You see people, you see it's glaring. When you talk about our road network, you see all this well. In the filling station, you see all this.
And when you talk about all this, it's more like, okay, if you are saying you've done your best, then there should be, and there is no result, or Nigerians are saying no, you've not to do better than this. He insisted that this was your best. So yes, Nigerians, you are a man of valor. Your integrity is impeccable, Mr. President. May that best in quotes you've given
amen to such prayers, because we just the scorecard and the score sheet should be in the hands of Nigerians. Not in the hand of Mr. President in poverty, and see if his best is really good enough, and if his best is not good enough, then he should put in more in a favorable environment, and life will be favorable for the masses, because the man in his comfort zone, even his aides sit down in their comfort zone, and from the comments
few. And you know, he said a lot of things. I just picked the few. I'd like to hear your opinions and what you have to say about social appreciation, and he's not expecting appreciation into his mind. What does that mean to him? And he says failure. Then and from his answer this way, you know, it's not easy on him. And for me personally, you know, this is your age and you know your capacity. You know, if you know that okay, you are not going to deliver, or you are this administration still blames the former administration those failures. Decision people's, I don't know the word to say it now, but if people's interest at heart and people have trusted you in, you'll be able to do some work on it.
Joyce, this is not time for blame games, because I know when the president wanted to take this mantle of authority in his hands, people all this will fight the issues we are going through as a country. And now we're talking about it when you've spent almost 6 years in that same position, and we can't see any positive. Well, why not learn from such people? You go out for meeting, you go out to relax, and you just go there for medical attention, and you come back and you have excuses for his failures. This is time for him to pick up from where he is displaying what people are saying concerning what he's saying, that he don't expect appreciation. Definitely, you won't every day. It's glaring. You can see it. You've heard of it. Then how do you expect appreciation? But if you've done your best, if you've give out what really tried while he was in position, now we see that people even appreciate such people.
So I just want to urge Nigerians that we know what is happening. We have the analysis. Remember that Femi Adesina doesn't think otherwise of this. Remember that Lai Mohammed doesn't think otherwise, and even Bashir ever happened to Nigeria. Well, you might have a different opinion. Why don't you let us know in our comments? The northern states following kidnappings, ritual killings. Is it the fuel scarcity? Is it the hike in gas? Is it the hike in electricity tariff? A lot of these things have happened, and former president, that's Obasanjo, who says unemployment forcing Nigerian youth into violent groups and kidnap gangs. This is what he believes, and every day you wake up, you hear stories like that. You hear about the human parts market. You hear about someone and saying, that's Obasanjo, that it is unemployment that is forcing Nigerians into this. And if you are watching and you're wondering why there is the high employment, so the next thing, you are looking at your fellow human being as money when you whatsoever you want. But what about your morals? Your family members, they do it to their daughters, to their mothers. We've heard stories like and so forth. So Tosin, I would like us to take our
Naira hidden PHCN privatization process blamed its searchlight on alleged 14.7 billion naira account by the Bureau of Public to that effect in the 2017 audit report. The Auditor General alleged that on the 31st December, 15.7 billion naira as part of process 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. And the former big story here says Matawale on Zamfara massacre, destruction of villages destroyed by bandits. He killed Benue monarch in his sleep. Details come in third quarter 2021. Federal government's new excise tax will cripple beverage subsector, NLC wants. And CBN disburses 3 on side of the Blueprint newspaper. We have supporting Southeast presidency will be Buhari's greatest. Olubadan Kingmakers meet Tuesday on 14-day ultimatum. And coming from 38-year-old man stabs mistress husband to death. Furore as Gorky native reject the issue where we have the kidnapping, we have ritual activities. There's a way where people want to make quick money. They see how pick all those people who are into all this negative act, because now you see that when people even go out, they are not also went out and something like that happened. He wanted to sell her to ritualists. You can see that things like this are unfolding. This is time for us to be security conscious, and not you shouldn't go out. It's better you stay at home. Is be vigilant for strange activities that are happening. And we see that even families are aware of all this. We see parts for ritual activities just in the quest to get quick money, get the money from God and use it the right way. Something needs to be done about it, and we just hope that we'll
very well said, Tosin. And that reminds me of a situation. Her eyes were removed and some private parts too were removed, and prior to that there was a video where she showed she was in the two of them. Now we are not sure if it was one that they did, but it was reported that this was what happened, and a fork was even found in the hotel room. Where we are so careful not to conclude on this, but we are awaiting, for the investigation, because the police said people can't be too careful. You can, man is desperately wicked. Yeah. You cannot conclude that okay, you are safe with this person. It's parts open, they sent you to school. This happened. There are different reports that so she hooked up with this one of her friends, and he came to the house, picked her up, to show his parents. And you know, it was he might come home to say they were she was kidnapped or they were attacked, and this was what happened. He wants to achieve or to be safe in the day. The days are evil. Stay away from this, do this, and you might feel no, they are too old. Story says NLC mobilizes for protest against hike in petrol price. An action plan for January 27. TU's 30 KB pupils. Gunmen kill, burn. Story can be found on the Nation newspaper. Filling Ondo killer header, 7 billion naira proceed, and that's aside on easy Osun state, just like Tosi reported. Authority of head of state and government after a meeting on the political newspaper, and read more of the stories. Move
11.63 billion naira consume Tofa on his life, politics, and Nigeria. The big story says M walk till 2023. We can't say anything now. Coming from Hadiza Bala, we have the keynotes here. We says May 6th, 2021. Of inquiry to investigate the management of the NPA managing director, the panel. Downside, we have inside PDP seeking father in Niger. After 2-day prayer session, die as police van crashes in Abuja. Media so rest in peace. And that's all the story making headlines on the Daily Trust newspaper.
Thank you, Tosin. I would like to move to the fiscal deficit, and Nigeria's debt burden widens amid poor budget funding at the rider for the big story. And moving on, convention, APC governors divided, shift meeting with Buhari DG, urges APC PDP to adopt Fourth Republic zoning convention. And we have stakeholders doubt rebirth of national carrier in 3 months. I'm sure it will come out on board, and this is coming from Alaigbe. Nigeria in need of comprehensive youth policy, and this is coming from the expert. You can read this story on page 29 of Daily Independent. It would be grave mistake not to release Kano, says IPHCN funds hidden in banks uncovered, page 7 of Daily Independent. And for the Mali crisis, he urges parties reconciliation committee to disregard for this paper.
Yes, and for Nigerian News Direct, the screaming headlines on budget 2022. Fighting Boko Haram, bid asked. Osun APC urges parties national. And the last story on the Nigerian News Direct says Kogi unveils plans for the road safety officials to be deployed at those places so that they can ease the traffic gridlock, so that there can be smooth flow of movement in there. So something should be done about those axes so that they can.
A lot of stories here which I would like to take, but first, federal government issues Lassa fever alert, death tolls hit 102, and cases now newspaper page 2 of the Punch. You can get more of the details. Then capital importation fails by 1.64 in secret account, and this is on page 10 of the Punch. Movement tells governors, and this story too can be found on page 2 of the Punch. Inflation grounds at 4.2%, 38 deaths recorded first week January. Then moving on, Grandpa Brazil returnee undergraduate arrested with lover's husband to death in Ogun State, page 4 of the Nation newspaper. And we have Akere Dolo vows to end headsmen attack. Tosi, let's move on to the next paper.
Yes, thank you. Moving to the first newspaper, we still have on the issue of Sylvester Oromoni's death. Dowen College, 5 arrested students not culpable, them. Autopsy reveals cause of death as acute bacteria pneumonia due to severe sepsis.
With the Sylvester's case, even though yes, there is the hashtag Justice for Sylvester situation. Now, the first autopsy showed that there was a substance in his stomach, a black substance, and like it wasn't out for the public. Even the parents struggled to get their hands on it. Now this second one is saying there's nothing like that, and he died of comes back death. And before he died, he said some things. It wasn't like, okay, after everything he just died and the parent couldn't even get to him. He was given some substance to drink, and the bullying thing has been on for a while now. Then now you're telling Nigerians they're natural cause or pneumonia and so on. I think more the justice system's wrong, and maybe the justice system is trying to hide a lot of these things just to protect, you know, the children that bullied him. But I think it's wrong. Just because there is money to disburse, you know, or there is one favor or the other to go round, I think there should be proper investigation, and the justice should take its stand in it. But this is it. And the father vowed that he will never bury his dad. I can just imagine what the parents are going. So sad. It's painful.
Yes, when we talk about the justice system, irrespective of who you are, justice should prevail if you've gone against the wrath of the law. Because when used condom was found in her body, and she died as that result in the boarding house. But now we can see that the reverse is the case. Running back to the educational sector, something needs to be done about the educational sector, the hands of seniors, and the seniors just do anyhow to these people. And you can see the issue of Sylvester Oromeni. We just hope that justice will prevail, and even others that have had issues like this and they try to bury it down. Something APC primaries to hold January 27. Serap drags National Assembly to court over missing 4.1 billion naira. It's a good one. Something needs to be done about this. You shouldn't wait till up. We have the security agencies. We have different sectors of our security. They should be deployed along those places that face a whole lot of threats when the OAU postgraduate students. 14.7 billion naira PHC Ondo State. And the last story on the first newspaper, Sanwo-Olu moves to avert the issue of the COVID-19. We have the issue of Lassa fever, and even we have now with the cold, we have the pneumonia. Something needs to be done. We don't want issues of strike this year. We want everything to be settled. When you talk about the as a country, where we can move ahead as a nation, we don't want issues of that
protest thing. We should agree a lot of these things when the government is doing the right thing. And we had interesting stories on the papers. And to our viewers, we just want to we're live on YouTube and also on Facebook. I would like to encourage on air. My name is Joyce. Join us on the next program, which is Today's Life.